Well, I made a video this morning, just a 3 minute thing, a little morning reflections, nothing really big. So yeah, it's a Friday. Some people on Friday do Friday reads. I mean, the last thing I read was Casanova, The World of a Seductive Genius. It's a biography on Casanova by Laurence Bergreen. So that's what I was reading this late this afternoon. Right now it's 6:37 at night here in West Michigan, and I just finished taking my daily shower. It's one thing I've always amazed at, that I have been able to take a hot shower almost every day, as long as I can remember. Even when I was homeless, I always had a place I could take a hot shower. And I always had a place, for some, I can't remember, always had clean clothes. Always, I always have. And to me, that's always a miracle, a mercy. But I've been married 37 years to a wonderful Christian woman. And always had plenty of food, shelter, love, family. The Lord's been good to me. But something today, somebody commented in BookTube about my pronunciation and how that they thought maybe I should seek speech therapy. And I made some comments. You can read them if you want. And I recognize that I cannot pronunciate words. I recognize that, and I can either not make videos, not mention books, or I can just stumble my way through. And that's what I choose to do. I recognize my limitations in speech, intellect, experience about life, and I've admitted it. I mean, it took me many years to accept the fact that I am broken, that I am fragile, that I'm a mess, that I can't talk clearly, I can't express my thoughts clearly. I stumble, I stutter. But I've come to a place accepting who I am. Now, accepting my limitations, accepting that you would want to be a certain person, but you're never going to be that person. I'm 64 years old. I'm amazed I lived this long, considering that some men don't live this long. My father-in-law, Carol's father, died at this age. My grandfather died at this age, 64 years old. Many men don't live into their 60s. And so the point is, why should I, at 64 years old, seek speech therapy? Or, now my wife is always correcting my pronunciation. And I'm always, and it goes back that, as I said in my comments to this fellow who says I should seek speech therapy, that my wife thinks I have a learning disability. But when I look back, I don't think I ever was taught how to read. I read by sight, not by pronunciation. I've read so much that and I read the same things over and over and over again. I have a certain sphere that I read in. I read in largely in American history. I've read largely in Reformed theology, 17th century Puritan spirituality, Christian spirituality, mysticism. I've read largely in the history of biblical interpretation. I've been reading the Bible for 47 years. I've gone to Bible college. I've gone to seminary. I've taught adult Sunday school. I've preached the Bible. So those things are by memory. It's not so much that I'm able to pronunciate. I basically read by memorization, by constantly exposing myself to certain things. And whereas I think that some people were taught how to read by reading out loud and pronunciation, I never learned pronunciation. As I mentioned, when I was growing up, I went to so many elementary schools. I'm sure I went to 25 elementary schools. When I was growing up, we moved all over. My mother was married several times to sailors, and we lived in Norfolk, and then we lived in Maryland, and we lived in Washington D.C. We lived in California. And we were just always moving around. My mother was always moving around, and I was always going to different schools. I was always the new kid, and sometimes I was only in school for a couple of months, and then we went to another school, and went on, and I was always probably behind and never really caught up. And not saying there's any excuse, but just how my life was. I've always kind of envied my wife, who grew up in the same elementary school, went to the same high school. My wife went to nursing school. She has a 2-year nursing degree. She wished she has a bachelor's and a master's. But the point is, I'm not really educated. I read a lot. I've read a lot of books. I know the Bible. But when it comes to practical things, I'm really kind of ignorant. But I do love books. I love talking about books, even though I realize that I do it poorly, which is something that kind of makes me disappointed in myself. But hey, you got to be who you are. You got to accept your limitations, and that's the way it is. I think one reason why I mostly write in my diary, and where I can express myself a little bit more clearly, even though I don't know even how to write basic American English prose. I don't know how to write even, really. So, but a long time ago, I told myself, you're not going to shut me up. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to keep just letting my light shine in this world. And some people are going to laugh at me. Some people are going to reject me. Some people are going to hate my politics. Some people are going to reject my Christian beliefs. But you've got to just keep on. I mean, that's my view. I'm just going to keep on sharing my life as a Christian, as a bookworm, a lover of books. And I recognize that I'm terrible at expressing what I think and what I feel. But I'm just going to keep on doing it. And I recognize people don't have to read my online diaries. They don't have to watch my videos. I notice sometimes people put a thumbs down. They don't like my videos. They don't like what I say. Well, that's just the way the world is. I'm not out to have a fan club. I'm just out to be true to myself, true to my Christian beliefs, speak from my heart, be honest, be real, be true, not be deceptive or be a phony or a hypocrite, but to be totally transparent. And that's what I try to do in these videos, and show my love for books, my love for the Word of God, the Bible, my love for Jesus Christ. Like I said, I was educated to be a Christian minister. That was always my desire in life, was to be a minister of the gospel. And it has been a great sadness in my life that that never came true, but the Lord is sovereign, and His will be done, and I know it was the best. So anyway, I just want to share these thoughts because I was thinking about what that guy said about me seeking speech therapy. And I'm sorry that I'm not able to really pronunciate things and set forth my ideas clearly. But hey, I just want you to know that. To thank you for all those who do subscribe and for your comments and for your patience with me. And pray that you have a good weekend. Bye.